Hello ladies and gentlemen! Today I'm back with another very exciting video. As requested by 1,000 people on YouTube and Twitter, I made another boss fight. This time you'll have to face one of the most scary villains in the internet history, WATERSHEEP. I actually didn't want to abuse PewDiePie's name for easy views after my initial boss fight, but in one of his recent videos he actually challenged me to make more.
Hey, McMakistein, if you want to do another one, please, you can do.
And after he then proceeded to kinda break my notifications on Twitter for a few days, I got a ton of cool suggestions and also came up with a couple of datapack ideas on my own that I will be creating and releasing in the following weeks. If you also have some cool suggestions or ideas, just leave a comment down below and maybe you're responsible for the next video. But now let's jump right into the fight by spawning the boss in. Start off by trapping a sheep between the water and the magma block. Simply set up a little piston contraption and push the magma block onto the sheep, and as soon as you do that it will vanish, and after a little particle animation the almighty water sheep will appear. Similar to the last data pack, I added the option to fight the boss with different difficulties. By default it will spawn in hard mode. If you drop an emerald onto the sheep before it transforms though, the fight will become a little bit easier. The same thing can be done with a diamond too, which leads to the easiest difficulty. In the standard attack stage, WATERSHEEP will run toward you and deal a lot of knockback whenever he hits you. He has 5 special attacks to make the fight more interesting. For attack number 1, he flies up into the sky and launches 3 baby homing sheep into your direction, which cause a small explosion as soon as they reach you. You do have the option of hiding though, because they will also explode upon hitting a block. Number 2 is my absolute favorite. Every few minutes, WATERSHEEP will split himself into several clones. Hitting one of them launches you into the air, causing a lot of damage as you land. The real WATERSHEEP is indicated by the dark grey wool. Your job is to find and hit it. If you do, it will vanish, and WATERSHEEP will jump into one of the remaining bodies. Repeat this process until only one sheep is remaining, and the normal fight will continue. As a close range attack, WATERSHEEP will launch a deadly ring of wool all around him. Make sure you keep your distance when this ability comes off cooldown, because it really hurts. To achieve this effect, I first of all summon an armor stand at the position of the sheep, and then executed a function that basically summons yet another armor stand with a wool block on its head, and does some calculations to give it a motion in the exact direction it is looking in. I then simply rotate the initial armor stand, which changes the forward direction, and summon another wool entity. This process just continues until the armor stand performed a 360-degree rotation. All of those actions happen in a single game tick, which in combination with the rotation trick allowed me to summon this ring by calling a single function instead of having to manually write some directional summon commands. If you run too far away though, there is a random chance of WATERSHEEP gaining super speed, which he can use to catch up to you again. This is indicated by some particles and a sound effect that is played at the start of the attack. Depending on where you are, a different set of abilities will randomly be activated in order to increase their effectiveness against you. Last but not least, WATERSHEEP can summon a couple of lightning bolts that deal devastating damage if they hit you directly. When I first implemented this attack, it would kill me every single time. So I tweaked the settings a bit and the lightning bolts will now appear at a random location in a 14 block radius of you. That way you can still easily survive if you're not extremely unlucky. Now that you know how your opponent can kill you, how do you actually take WATERSHEEP out? Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just use any weapon of your choice to attack his body and you will see his health gradually decrease in the boss bar at the top of your screen. At 75, 50 and 25% of his health, a second attack stage will be initiated. Enraged by his pain, he will summon the Council of WATERSHEEP to assist him during the fight. During this stage, he will fly around in random patterns and cannot be damaged. In order to complete the stage, you need to take out the console that's now rotating around him. I recommend getting some ranged weapons for this purpose. Every time you land a shot, the individual health of the sheep will decrease as indicated by the small number display popping up. 3 successful hits unfortunately don't kill the console sheep, but send him on a journey of wrath. For a few seconds they will fly around your head while dropping a rainbow wool trail. These tiny bombs might not look dangerous, but as soon as they land on the ground, they give all players in proximity wither effect. In case you're wondering how I achieved this armor stands, I basically spawned an armor stand that I constantly teleport to the location of the sheep and then rotate around the y-axis. With local coordinates, I could then easily just teleport 3 more sheep relative to the rotation armor stand to make them travel around it. Whenever I detect a hit on one of the sheep, I basically increase the scoreboard value and summon another armor stand with a custom name displaying the sheep's health. A simple timer gives it a constantly decreasing motion upwards and then deletes it after about a second. Because things are not difficult enough, WaterSheep has one more trick up his sleeve. As soon as all 3 members of the council are killed, he will drop a gigantic meatball nuke on your head. It will cause severe distraction to the terrain, and if you don't dodge in time, well, you're dead. If you survive though, congratulations. You're now in the normal fighting stage and can start dealing some damage again. This entire process needs to be completed 3 times in total, and if WaterSheep's health finally reaches 0, he dies. To incentivize players to actually complete the fight, there are 3 special items WaterSheep will drop that allow you to use some of his abilities for yourself. Number 1 is the wool ring, which is really intuitive to use. Just right click the item in your inventory and wool blocks will be launched away all around you, damaging all mobs they pass. If you get overwhelmed by a ton of enemies, this is really useful to kill multiple of them at once. There is a small cooldown to it though, and the damage is not extremely high, so all in all it's not super overpowered. Moving on to the rainbow bomb trail. Once again, just right click the item and for a few seconds you will leave a trail of exploding wool items. This can even be combined with an elytra if you just want to attack some innocent mobs as you fly across the land, for example. Once again, there is a small cooldown after using this weapon, and the restriction of only being able to attack mobs underneath you makes it fairly balanced, I think. The last and probably most exciting weapon is the meatball nuke. Right clicking the item will teleport you into the sky. From there, you can just walk wherever you want the nuke to land and then sneak to confirm your destination. There's a little timer in the background, so if you don't sneak after a couple of seconds, the location will automatically be confirmed for you. You will immediately be teleported back to the activation point and can watch as the meatball falls from the sky, destroying whatever it lands on. Since my last data pack had a couple of bugs that some of you complained about, I added an emergency reset function which basically kills all the entities involved and resets the boss bar too. So if you run into any problems, just use the command function WaterSheep reset and everything should be repaired again. I had a lot of fun putting this data pack together, and with over 600 individual commands, it's definitely one of the more intricate boss fights I made so far. If you want to download it and try it out for yourself, here's a quick installation tutorial in case you've never used data packs before. Head on over to my website and download the zip file you'll find there. Now open your .minecraft directory and navigate to the data packs folder of your world. If you don't know how to get there, just press Windows and R, type %appdata%, open .minecraft, saves, your world, and finally data packs. In the folder you downloaded earlier, you'll find a data pack which you have to paste in there. The resource pack needs to go into the resource packs folder of your .minecraft directory. Once you've done all that, open your world, activate the resource pack, and as soon as you get the welcome message, you are good to go. And that concludes today's video. It was really fun to create this, and if you decide to try it out, I hope you have fun with the fight. I cannot wait to share more data packs with you in the future. I have some awesome projects coming up, especially for the PewDiePie fans among you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.